go. I'm going to hit the go live button. I really have no idea when the stream actually starts, and that's why I think a lot of other streams have that countdown so they know when the stream starts. Had some technical difficulty just because I don't set up these streams that often, and the best way to test is live. So yeah, today we're going to talk about what's happening in 2023, some crypto predictions, and we're going to be looking at some market research data by Coinbase. They published their 2023 crypto market outlook, so that should be somewhat helpful, but they're very light on the hard defined opinions, so they keep it very loose. They don't set any promises, but we're gonna make some predictions, and that's what we're doing. Hey Raymond, glad to have you here. Thanks for joining. And yeah, I kind of want to start with this video here by Podcast But Outside. It's a very entertaining and comedic podcast, and they interview a lot of people. In this video, they interview someone in blockchain technology, which is very apparent.
You used the word blockchain, but then you laughed when I said crypto.
No, so we're not doing a cryptocurrency, only because we can't really have volatility when investing into impacts on the ground, because if you're going to have price fluctuations on the floor, then you're not going to see the same amount that you thought you committed to a net impact being realized for that value.
Right.
So
totally. We said all that earlier.
Yeah.
We're working with different brands to help them assert and bring transparency to how they give back to social and environmental causes. We were out in the cloud forest working on an initiative, restructure on ecotourism to divert remuneration away from. So I think that should be more intrinsic and implicit to the architecture of an entity, holistic and inclusive of all of the variables that occur in the world. Channel resources that are critically needed on the ground in a meaningful way to disrupt at a source level the solutions that need to be deployed.
Dude, you're from the future.
You use.
So that's the biggest problem with cryptocurrency. Some people don't know how to talk to regular people. I understood what you were saying, but from the context of this video, it wasn't much. It was a lot of fluff and buzzwords. So thanks for being here, everybody. Kendall Jennerson, WLG. I think that's a typo. Almost sounds like she's rapping. I mean, if you drop a good beat, it could go that way. So yeah. Crypto is very complicated, and being able to create things that people understand is where things are trending towards. So with a lot of the new NFTs coming out, they're being called digital collectibles because using the word NFT is just too confusing for a lot of people. It's very intimidating, and people need to work with something they understand. People understand collectibles, they understand digital, and that's why NFTs moving forward are just being called digital collectibles. So you can explain that to an old person who might not be very tech savvy and just say, oh, it's like digital baseball cards. So that is one of the trends we're starting to see. That was very apparent with like what Reddit was doing, Starbucks, Adidas, all the big brands that are jumping into NFTs. And that's one of the trends we are seeing. We're going to go over the Coinbase Crypto Market Outlook report, but I got some other interesting stuff that I'd like to talk about too. U.S. subpoenas hedge funds in probe of crypto exchange Binance. So U.S. hedge funds were allowed to use Binance if they had a corporate account. And the funny thing about this article, let me see, is that I'm in it, because I made a video about how to beat Binance KYC, and I got contacted by the reporter, and I thought it was a scam. I thought it was a scammer because they emailed me from the domain at washpost.com and not Washington Post. And if you go to washpost.com, it redirects to Washington Post. A common scam website move, you always redirect to the real site. So I thought it was a scammer trying to get some personal information from me. And how I beat Binance KYC? I don't live in the US. I have residency in another country, and I'm currently living in another country. And with the fall of FTX, like big exchanges like Coinbase and Binance have a bigger target on their back. And I think with all the FUD and scary and all the scary things happening, I don't know how much worse it could get. And it really seems when we kind of hit this point, we bottom out in the market when there is just ultimate fear and all the worst things that could happen have happened. I don't know if it can get worse. If Binance collapses or USDT, it's going to go down even more. In a report by JP Morgan, they thought the bottom of Bitcoin, the Bitcoin bottom would be around 13,000. If it is, that's still not that bad. We've seen a lot of pain in 2022, and overall, I think 2023 is going to be a lot better. So let's go for the comments. Yeah, smash that like button. Thank you. Appreciate that. How can I withdraw coins from a SEX faster? Centralized exchange. It says I need to wait 7 days to withdraw. So that is a common issue with centralized exchanges, especially if you do an ACH transfer from your bank. They want to make sure the bank can't claw it back. So there is a 7-day cooldown period where the bank still has a chance to claw that money back, but after that 7 days, they can't do that. So centralized crypto exchanges, they don't want to take that risk, and there is a hold on your funds for those 7 days. And yeah, just keep moving forward. And the interesting thing about 2022, there were 184 million Ethereum crypto addresses, and we ended with 219 million. So that is about a 20% increase in crypto wallets through 2022, one of the worst markets out there. And that just shows that people are still using it, they're still building, there's still some hope, and the trend line even increases starting in November. So that is kind of odd that you do see that big increase in the last few months of the year, especially around the FTX crash. So there is a lot of interest to continue using cryptocurrency. So my opinion, and not financial advice, that 2023 is going to be a better year, especially as more products hit the market. So let's go to another question. WLG, I've had a hard time over the last 12 months, but I just closed a deal today. Will quantify 100,000 per month. Yes, it was a good day. All right, congrats WLG. Moving on to Etherscan. I was kind of exploring, I was looking at some stats about what's going on on the blockchain side, what's happening on the chain, and I saw blockchain Blockscan Chat. Now, this is a very, very interesting tool because it is your crypto wallet where you can use your actual crypto address to chat with other people. Now, I'm just very impressed by this because yes, you have access to your crypto wallet. It's a unique thing. People can't imitate it, and this could create a better experience for people to start getting involved in cryptocurrency as they have instant chat, end-to-end encryption, multi-device login. You can block addresses, notifications, and it's just a really cool tool to start broadening the reach of cryptocurrency, because a lot of people don't trust some apps like WhatsApp due to privacy concerns, selling information, and using something like Blockscan Chat could be the resolution to that. So I am pretty excited to see the new developments happening in cryptocurrency. Obviously, you have some complicated addresses like 0x blah blah blah, but you can use ENS domains, so something like, yourname.eth. I'm not sure if you can use ultimate domains yet. I haven't looked into it that much. I found it yesterday. So that is one of the things I wanted to showcase. And we're going to take a look at some more things. Question by BA. How can I avoid KYC? Well, you have to use an exchange that doesn't require KYC or P2P trading, where that's you trading cryptocurrency from your crypto account and banks to another person. Now, P2P trading is a little riskier, so you want to use a safer platform. I haven't used Paxful, but I hear that's a good one. I've used Binance P2P before, And there are a lot of other P2P platforms. I actually did a Binance P2P tutorial on the Binance YouTube channel, and it's very detailed. So if you have access to that, then you could use it. But if you're in the US, no, sorry, you got to use some of the other sites that might be a little risky. Mr. C just received the Flare airdrop wrapped and delegated on Bifrost. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that because I have Ripple and it's on 2 exchanges. I did not self-custody it. It's on Nexo and Coinbase. So kind of interested in seeing what they're developing and their ecosystem. The most difficult part is trying to figure out what exactly it does, because they use that very complicated crypto jargon where it sounds fancy, but you don't have any very easy way to understand what's going on, how many people are using it, or how many people are going to use it, all their partnerships, and other data like that. So I'm glad to have the airdrop. As for investing in Flare, very cautious. I would like to discover their ecosystem. And yeah, this was a very long awaited airdrop. I think it was promised in 2020. So it's been like 2 years. It was a really long time waiting for this airdrop. The snapshot was at the end of 2020, and it's just a little over 24 months. Hopes for Illuvium. So Illuvium is still in its, I think, open or closed beta. I like what they're doing. I've seen clips of the game from their Twitter account. It looks good. Hopefully it's addictive and people continue to play and use it. I haven't jumped in yet. They gave me a pass to use it, but I wanted some other people to have it to make sure they're playing, because I jump around a lot, and if I get hooked on a video game, I'm not productive. So I try to limit myself from that, because it's very easy to not be productive. As you can see from my channel, yeah, there isn't a lot of content there. I do want to make more content for 2023. Oops, sir. All right, so let's take a look at the crypto market outlook by Coinbase. Now, let's see. There's a lot going on here, but the thing I'm guessing most people want to know is what's happening with the prices. So likely path prices of the market in the next 12 months will stay range bound, means it's going to go sideways. So over half of investors surveyed think that's going to happen. Don't know or no opinion. About 10% will trend higher. About 8% will trend lower. 29%. So I don't exactly know when they surveyed it. Oh, okay. Source 2022 Institutional Investor Digital Assets Survey sponsored by Coinbase, conducted September 21 and October 27 among 140 institutional participants. So we'll trend lower. That already happened. That's good news. So if you probably surveyed the same people again, I would assume that the will trend higher section of the pie would be higher. So I am optimistic. We've seen a lot of bad things happen as far as what happened in the crypto markets over the last year. But I think the worst is behind us. I just want to share that as an opinion. As more people enter the crypto markets, more wallets are created, more functionality for the masses, more brands, big brands like Starbucks, Adidas, Nike, Disney, jumping into the world of digital collectibles. And as we see this transition, I think it's going to be a lot like the internet. When the internet first started, there weren't website names, there were just IP addresses to servers, which is like a phone number, where it's just this long string of numbers to get to a website. Then they made readable domains with DNS, the domain name service, where it would redirect that phone number into something like google.com. So you'd have something you could easily remember and type in. And as crypto evolves, we're seeing the same thing, where wallets used to be very complicated, and some of the newer crypto wallets coming out don't use that seed phrase because it's pretty high risk and complicated. They might secure your crypto wallet with your Google account or something like that, where they're relying on the security of another service. Obviously, there's still risks on both sides, but for mass adoption, it just needs to get a lot easier. And backing up and saving and securing a seed phrase is a lot of work. If you're doing it right, it's a lot of work, and I don't really see a lot of people doing that casually. So the entry into the crypto world, I predict, is going to get easier as new products are being made. I know Argent is one of them. There's like a couple crypto wallets, and I'm still looking into that for another video. Hey, WLG, thank you. All right, please provide your crypto resources. I use a lot of things, mostly Google, and I kind of look for what's available. You always avoid anything sponsored because that's going to be a bad resource and very likely a scam, so I avoid that. There's a lot of on-chain data. I like Masari. They publish very good and detailed reports for free. I would not subscribe to them because it's very expensive, but their free reports are very good. Then there's like Token Terminal, and then there's all the on-chain stuff like Etherscan, where you're kind of just digging through that data and trying to make sense of it. So you can see what the transactions are, what's going on. Oh, there's also DeFi Llama, so you can see what's going on the DeFi side. And having that full list of tools right off my head, those were it. I'm sure there's more, but that's what I could think of at the moment. What do you think about Dogecoin? I mean, it is a meme coin. We recently saw the spike of Bonk. That was probably the meme coin of 2023. I think it's had its run. And whenever we see a meme coin run, it gets a lot of people interested and involved in crypto. I know I got involved in crypto when Dogecoin was like at 22 Satoshis. That's against Bitcoin. And because I wanted to know how it felt to have 1 million coins. I eventually sold at 22 Satoshis, and yeah, that was clearly a mistake. So what I think about Dogecoin, I think it does appeal to the masses, especially with Twitter and Elon Musk. So there is some hope there. I wouldn't really bank on it. Personally, I'm looking at investments that will continue to grow over time without having to hope that Dogecoin and Elon and Twitter do something to keep pumping it. Just because, Dogecoin is its own blockchain, having to support that is a lot more work, while everything in the Ethereum ecosystem and then the layer 2s like Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, a lot of brands are trending that way. So I'm pretty optimistic in the technology. I like what Dogecoin is doing as far as bringing in people and introducing them to the crypto ecosystem. As far as investing in it, I think it's very high risk, and I look for less risky investments. Even though everything in 2022 crashed, I still have a lot of hope in some other projects with like a longer use case and output over the next several years. Do you have any new information about Dent Wireless? I haven't looked into them since 2018. I remember, you would be able to use their tokens to pay for wireless services, and that's it. So I'm hoping they made some developments over the last 5 years. It's not something I would personally invest in if that is still their business model, because wireless services have become more affordable, especially with the rise of Starlink, where people can just use internet anywhere, where that might eliminate the use of these wireless networks for cryptocurrency. So I think that was a big hope shot, because these big telecom companies having to partner with them and then accept a token, it's a lot more work on their part. They don't want to do that. They just want to make money, and creating a shareable wireless system, not ideal for their bottom line. I am also helpful about what Helium is doing and creating like a global network of 5G. That could be very interesting. Hopefully that develops. As far as price, I think they're still printing a lot of tokens, so it might be a little risky to jump in at the moment. What do you think about Crow? Crypto.com has done a lot of things in the past few months where I don't have a lot of confidence in them. So if I don't have a lot of confidence in them, and then I've tried using their interface and it's not that user friendly, I don't really like the product or what they're doing, so I'm not investing in it. Because if I can invest in something that people use and like, and it's easy to use, and more people to jump in, then there's more optimistic growth in that. So with Crypto.com, or rather Crow, CRO, their token, I'd be careful with that one. There was a lot of, FUD or rumors about what was happening behind the scenes. So anytime there's smoke, there could be fire. And then I'm very cautious. So what we've learned from 2022, even if there's rumors, if your money's there and you can take it out, pop it back in once things cool down and, the confidence is back in that exchange. Which centralized exchange do I use? I use a couple of them just for different services or different tools or different off-ramps. So my main off-ramp is Coinbase, because that connects to my banks, and they have a limited selection and expensive trading fees unless you do Coinbase One, which is like $30 a month. I don't do that. I use Coinbase to bring in like stable coins, then I move it to other exchanges like KuCoin or Pionex just because of their selection or liquidity. I use Binance or Bybit depending on what the coins are, sometimes Gate.io, because centralized exchanges can have better liquidity for some small market cap coins than a decentralized exchange. Because with decentralized exchanges, there's like a lot of bridging, there's limited liquidity, it's kind of all over the place. So that's kind of in my gambles that I don't talk about because I don't want to give any financial advice. I have a certain risk tolerance where when I go to the crypto casino to look into things that might have opportunities. WLG, I made 28K on Doge. I could have made 180K and I sold all of it at the top. If I sold all at the top. If you made profit, that's good. Never compare yourself to like what you could have made because it's going to drive you crazy. Is CBDC here to stay? I think a lot of countries are transitioning to a central bank digital currency. Hopefully it's in the positive sense for cryptocurrency and just making more currencies digital. It really depends on the country and the policies that they imply. I think it's easier to work with a digital currency than hard currency. So I really see that trend. I think most of China is like cashless and everyone just pays through WeChat. And what Elon Musk is trying to do with Twitter is trying to make it the all-in-one app where you can just pay everyone and just use one app for chatting and financial services and whatever else you need to do. So I do see things trending that way. It could be happening. WLG, 2K investment, 28K cashed out the day before SNL. Oh yeah, I remember that. When Elon Musk went on SNL, Doge crashed. Now that was kind of the buy the rumor, sell the news type of situation. I remember shorting Doge at 72 cents at that point because the upside of shorting it was pretty good. Let's see, appreciate all. Hey, thank you, Mr. C. Why is ETH pumping more than BTC? I think when we look at what's pumping, you can only make assumptions that of why. Obviously the market cap of Bitcoin is much higher. It takes a lot more money for that to pump than Ethereum, but when it comes to like these small price spikes, it's really hard to determine what is fueling it, especially in this market. There's just so many different things happening. It could just be people optimistically buying ETH, because if ETH becomes the smart contract chain that everyone uses and all the layer 2s use, and everything becomes deflationary since more people are using it, more tokens are being burned, maybe they just want to buy Ethereum now in the hopes that with the deflationary tokenomics that the value goes up in the future. I mean, we can all hope for that, but when we try to determine what happens day by day, it's impossible. Where am I from? BA. I live in Taiwan. I'm from Los Angeles in California, but I don't live there anymore. As of 4 years ago, I did some traveling, liked Taiwan, started living here. Things are great. So I really like, just the safety, the convenience, the food, the affordability. I definitely get my full value here. It is much more affordable to live a very good and comfortable life here than in the US. And the crazy thing is, or maybe, you can't really see that outlet. I mean, same electricity system. So it's the exact same outlets, don't need any converters. Just bring all my electronics and just plug in. So moving from the US to Taiwan was kind of very plug and play. It was very, very easy. There were definitely some things I needed to adapt to, but I really like it. I highly recommend visiting Taiwan, but as for living here, I think that's just really good. If you do visit, the food is amazing. Why can't I withdraw MGRT? I don't know what MGRT is and those specific circumstances. Top 5 cryptos going into the year. That's very subjective and a very dangerous question to answer. And a lot of YouTubers make that content. So, I mean, maybe I can make that video of like what top 5 I think will be doing well in 2023. The ones I like are very mainstream. Those are the ones I'd publicly talk about. Probably not the the altcoin roulette that I play, but sometimes that's just fun and just keeps it interesting. So as for the top coins that I can think of right off the top of my head, I mean Ethereum, just because that is just going to be the center of smart contracts, whereas some of the alternative layer ones might not see the same amount of growth because a lot of the growth is happening on Ethereum and the layer 2s. As far as layer 2s, I like Polygon, Matic. That is a lot of partnerships and development. So if you want to be involved with Starbucks, you're already in the Polygon ecosystem. So once that ecosystem has that users, more people are going to start building there to access those users. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hopeful of. And there's Chainlink, which is partnering with a lot of different banks to make blockchain interoperable. Basically, they're acting as interoperability as a service where they'd be able to connect a bank to all the different blockchains out there. And I like what they're doing, what their partnerships are, and very optimistic about what they're building. And that's just another thing. That's my opinion. I was pretty optimistic about Algorand, but they didn't really do that well with their World Cup NFTs. They sold probably less than $2 million worth of NFTs. There wasn't really any trading volume on the secondary marketplace. And I think the execution of that big partnership didn't go that well. So, I mean, I still have some Algorand, but I'm less optimistic about them going into 2023. What do I do for a living? Oh, I guess I make crypto content, have some savings, and YouTube. Do you know any hidden gem token? That's guessing. Anytime someone says something is a gem, that's a guess. So just be very careful out there. I mean, if you think it is a gem, there has to be like a lot of good reasoning about what it is, what they're building, what they're working towards, and if they can achieve that. So yeah, calling anything a gem is great. It's clickbait, but I try to be very careful about that and just recommending anything, because sometimes it's a rug pull, and that's happened to me many times in the past. So that's why I'm very cautious about looking at things that are called gems. Have you heard of Luxworld? I have not. Oh man, yeah. More about Taiwan? It's just very comfortable, pretty affordable. It's really nice being able to be in a walkable city and having good public transportation and things being clean and accessible, and yeah, it's very comfortable. If you're visiting, you're like, oh yeah, it's just like a modern city like Hong Kong or Tokyo. But if you're living here, the quality of life is pretty good. And I think that covers a lot. We're like 30 minutes into the stream, guys. All right. Oh yeah, another one. Someone asked about Polkadot. As an alternate layer 1 smart contract chain, it's competing with Ethereum and their layer 2s. I mean, I like what Polkadot is doing, and their subchains with like Kusama, but yeah, there hasn't been a lot of movement with that as far as price action or development or ease of use. I've tried using Polkadot. It is a very complicated wallet, so bringing on new users might be very difficult for them. How do I feel about Gala? Well, I looked into Gala over a year ago, and I didn't like the games. I didn't like that if you wanted to be a verifier or something, you needed to pay for ETH. So it was kind of like a high bar to entry, and then obviously it dumped pretty big. It's been pumping as of recently. They are doing like games and music and other stuff. But if they, get some big partnerships and people start actually using their service, could be pretty good. But I don't like giving any definitive answers about that. You really have to jump in. I'd say if you like what they're doing and you're using their service and you highly recommend it, then invest. And with crypto, there's a lot of companies like that where like you see what they're building, it's usable, and you can honestly recommend it, then you might want to jump into it. Best countries to live in and use crypto. Well, Taiwan, no taxes on crypto. That's amazing. Some places let you cash out crypto, and some places let you use crypto in Taiwan. Then there's also Singapore and Dubai. I think there's also Portugal, which doesn't tax crypto. They give you like a visa if you just have money. So it makes it pretty accessible if you already have some crypto to retire on. I did look into that. Best places to live on crypto. Yeah, there was pretty much that. Portugal, Spain, Dubai, Singapore, and the secret one, Taiwan. Jasmine Coin, I don't know anything about that. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Helium? So the Helium token just overmined with not enough usage. They don't really make that much on fees with their lo-fi, or I forgot exactly, with their wireless network. But with them moving towards 5G services, and I think they have some partnerships and are in some test markets, I think that could be pretty big, where you are actually creating this decentralized 5G network, and it's just providing quality data, especially in rural areas that have difficulty in accessing those high speeds, and because they don't have that same infrastructure from a big city, because it's very expensive. That can create a lot of hope for Helium. So I kind of want to see how that develops. But also on the other side of that, Starlink is going public this year. I think they're just going to produce more products for people that don't have easy access to the internet. So that's probably the biggest threat to Helium, Starlink. Someone's recommending BuySwap. I haven't looked at it. Maybe I'll take a look. Let me know in the Discord about what's going on with it and what your thoughts. Favorite DEX. So I like how with some of the DEXs you can make money as a liquidity provider. So I am providing liquidity on KyberSwap. So I'm using KyberSwap, but I like using DEX aggregators to see what kind of rate I can get. And if you're not familiar with a DEX aggregator, it searches all the decentralized exchanges for the lowest rates. And there is a lot of competition out there. I think the main ones are 1inch, KyberSwap, and OpenOcean. So I've used their services and it's great. I've tried using like a decentralized exchange directly, and you do get a better rate. It does route your trade to get you full value. So like you would end up with a little more in tokens as it routes your trade to wherever you'd get the best deal. So I highly recommend using a decentralized exchange aggregator and just give it a shot. See if you do get a better deal. I haven't tried Fearless Wallet for DOT. I've used their the Polkadot.js thing, which is awful. So yeah. Oh, so that's yeah. You say Glimmer through there. Yeah. I'll check out that Fearless Wallet. The one they have through their Chrome extension is not fun to use, and just the layout is very developer friendly, but not user friendly. MetaMask or Trust Wallet? I use both. So Trust Wallet is on the mobile. I just have like a hot wallet with some funds, because some places accept crypto. So I want to be able to pay for things. Like when I was in Japan, I paid Bitcoin through Trust Wallet. When I'm on my computer connecting to dApps, I prefer using MetaMask than having to get out my phone and connect it all the time. It's actually sitting right here just because, sorry, I was filming something. So yeah, it doesn't really hurt to have multiple wallets, and it's a little bit safer because if you are going out, you don't want to have all your crypto on you. So with Trust Wallet on my mobile phone, I just have my spending money. Is the bottom in? How low can we go? I think we're there. I think all the worst things happened. I think 2023 is going to go close higher than 16,000. If there is another dip on the way, that could be due to the Genesis liquidations. It could be to some other type of black swan event. It could be due to like a full-on market recession in the US. There are a lot of different factors, but with the amount of people in crypto and markets growing and new wallets being created and new functionality, I think it's going to be a more green year. I don't think it's going to be like the ultra bull run, but I think we are going to move up. So I am very optimistic about 2023. Yeah, it's JS Wallet. So yeah, Daydreamy X confirmed. JS Wallet, awful. It's just so awful to use. That's for the Polkadot ecosystem. So I think that's why Polkadot hasn't seen that big user growth, because they need friendly wallets and friendly dApps for people to use. Oh, what is the monthly pricing for Discord? I haven't a membership before. Oh, I think if that was my Discord membership, I discontinued it just because I wasn't providing enough value, and I don't want people to pay for something that they're not getting enough value. And that was early on in 2022, just before the markets took even a bigger dip. And then at that point, you don't even want to look at the markets. So yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, there's no membership, but if you want to join the Discord and chat, it's very quiet there, so it's easy for me to respond to questions. How many years jail time do you think Sam Bankman-Fried will get? I think it's going to be 0. I think it's going to be close to 0. It's going to be closer to 0 than 100. Any thoughts about Reef? So I have heard about Reef Finance. I haven't looked into it. Let me know in the Discord if you think I should and why. Yeah, and maybe I could do a review of it. Do you think crypto will keep going down as long as the S&P 500 goes down? I don't. So even though there has been a close link between the S&P 500 and cryptocurrency, I think at one point it's just eventually going to depeg, because there's only so much it can go down in variance, where if the S&P 500 really starts going down, it's possible that people are going to want to invest in another alternative currency like a Bitcoin or crypto, where they want to move their money there, whereas, some currencies around the world are more inflationary than the amount that Bitcoin went down in price. So Bitcoin was still better to hold than in some hyperinflation countries. So potentially we could see more movement there, but there are a lot of banks globally blocking access to Bitcoin. So that's another opportunity for more people to make products to serve these people, or for them to get into P2P trading. Oof. What's the most I ever lost? It was 2022. Oh, should have cashed out day one, 2022. But maybe I'm just too optimistic about all the developments. You get really sucked into the cheering of a bunch of people. Like, everyone's like optimism at the beginning of the year. Everything on Twitter, all in the comments. So yeah. Thoughts on Veracity? I like Veracity, but they are not doing well. I don't know if anyone is actually using their service. I believe they have a patent on something with streaming and video and blockchain. I already forgot. I looked into it maybe half a year ago. So, I mean, if Veracity can actually put their patent to use and get clients and get people to use their service, it could do well. I think they just create SDKs, software development kits, for developers to use things on Veracity, but I don't know if anyone has created something that people want to use yet. Where can I learn to be a smart contract dev? YouTube. There are a lot of YouTube courses. There are a lot of online courses developed by some crypto companies too. That is a great question. I looked into some resources because people were recommending it at Taipei Blockchain Week. Yeah, maybe I'll make a video on that, like where you can learn to be a smart contract dev, because there is a huge demand for that. And there are some channels solely dedicated to teaching smart contract development. So I know I think it's called DApp University and Eat the Blocks. Those are two channels I've seen. So that's a good place to start. Trading bots, good idea. So depends on the trading bot you use. Most of them trade sideways, and I think we will be going sideways for a little bit. And that, yeah, I guess there are a lot of different trading bots. I'm talking about like grid trading bots. So I actually opened up a couple just because I think we're going to see some sideways action while slowly building up. And when that happens, trading bots or being a liquidity provider is ideal to maximize your return rather than holding. But if it starts pumping, then it's better to hold. All right, and thoughts about ADA. So, they have such a strong community. They actually have a Taiwan Cardano group. They're building a lot of things. People are still optimistic, but I think their biggest challenge is speed. Maybe they're not developing fast enough because, a lot of people are moving to Ethereum and layer 2s. I think that's just my biggest thing I'm optimistic about, that people are going to be in that ecosystem. And you know how difficult and challenging it is to set up a wallet that isn't compatible with one system. So it is that hurdle to get new users and for them to get involved with. Oh, my email is in my About page, so check that out. Well, it's actually a team email, so yeah, it goes to a couple people. I think that's good. We had a good chat for 45 minutes. Yeah, let me know in the video comments, not in the live chat, because that's probably going to go away. Of any other questions you have, I'll answer those. And if you want to join the Discord, yeah, we can communicate more frequently there. So hope this was awesome. Thanks to everyone who joined. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of